Welcome to the 30th anniversary of Jazz at LACMA. We are pleased to present trumpeter Curtis Taylor. Thanks for tuning in to our virtual Jazz at LACMA concert series as we celebrate 30 years of this great free weekly concert series at the museum. My name is Mitch Glickman, Director of Music Programs here at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. We can't wait to invite you back to the museum for the concerts, but for now, we're staying safe, so no audiences quite yet. But we can put together some of the finest musicians in the world to keep this concert series going. Jazz at LACMA concerts are made possible in part through a grant from the City of Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs. Our broadcasts are made possible through the support of the Office of Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl. And promotional support comes from our friends on the radio, KJazz 88.1 FM, where every Sunday night at 7 p.m. you can turn into our weekly free 2-hour broadcasts. Now tonight, we're thrilled to have with us trumpeter and composer Curtis Taylor. Curtis has toured the world and has performed and recorded with Billy Childs, Gregory Porter, and James Carter. Through his work with Cyrus Chestnut, he's performed at the Kennedy Center, Spoleto Jazz Festival, and the Dizzy Jazz Club in New York City. We're thrilled to have him back. Put your virtual hands together for the Curtis Taylor Quartet.
It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here, even in this capacity. We don't take it for granted. As performances start to come back, we as the musicians are ever grateful for this opportunity. I would be remiss if I didn't introduce this ridiculous band that is with me today. At the piano, Mr. Paul Cornish. At the bass, Mr. Ben Williams. And on the drums, Mr. Gene Coy. Yours truly, Curtis Taylor, on the trumpet. The first composition you heard was a composition of mine entitled Journey. And we're going to continue with another one of my compositions. Actually, all the compositions that you will hear this evening will be from my book. And this one is entitled On This Day. All right. That was a composition of mine entitled On This Day. At this time, we like to spice things up a bit and play one that has been sure to be better than a cup of coffee, meaning that this is fast. This one is entitled Heightened Awareness. heightened awareness. So when you play something like that, the only place left to go is down in tempo. So we're going to do that right now. So if you got a special person or people, now's the time. Bring them close to the screen, your phone, your iPad, computer screen, television, whatever you're watching us on. Bring them close. Let them know that you requested this moment. We're going to set it up for you. This one's entitled Intimate Thoughts. Williams. We set them up, you knock them down. I'm calling the audible on the play here. We had another song in mind, but it's time for some groove. This one is off my 2019 release entitled Snapshot, and this one is entitled #Theme. Hashtag theme. You have been listening to the Curtis Taylor Quartet, Paul Cornish at the piano and keyboard, Mr. Ben Williams at the bass, Gene Coy on the drums, Curtis Taylor on the trumpet. I'd like to invite you to visit my website, curtistaylor.net, for more information about where I'll be performing and who I'll be performing with in music and all that good stuff. And I would also like to invite you to check out every musician that you see here. Just Google them. They're doing some amazing things, even in COVID. And thank you guys so much for this opportunity. We'd like to thank Mitch Glickman here at LACMA and Stephanie for everything, for organizing this and having us here. Thank you so much.
So here we are for our 30th anniversary of Jazz at LACMA. I'm Mitch Glickman, here with our special guest musician this week, Curtis Taylor. So Curtis, thanks for joining us this week, bringing the band together. I know you have some new members with you this time. You want to talk about the band a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's first, it's great to have a gig. We've been in COVID so long. This is one of my first performances since last year, since 2020, and I'm excited to be here. My band consists of Paul Cornish, great pianist who's done work with Kanye West, and a good friend of mine, Marquise Hill, and just a phenomenal musician on the scene today. Ben Williams, another beautiful cat on bass. We actually went to Michigan State University together, and
nice.
That's where we first met and came up, and he's an incredible talent, playing with everybody, Herbie Hancock and Glasper, and another person that's playing with everybody in the scene. And Gene Coy on drums, who is an amazing musician that I met here in LA with singer Jesse Poulter we were talking about. So it's just beautiful. And Gene plays regularly with Terrence Blanchard's E Collective and everybody on the scene. So
That's it.
It's just, it's a pleasure to play with these musicians and play my music for LACMA.
So does it feel a little bit like you're a butterfly coming out of this long cocoon?
Absolutely, 100%. I had to prepare 3 or 4 weeks in advance to have the stamina enough to make it through a whole set of music because, before this, I mean, we're at home like a lot of folks. And, the trumpet is a really unforgiving instrument. And so if you don't put the time in, everybody will know.
Well, looking back to pre-COVID days, music is one of those great, beautiful things where it's a passport, really, for so many things, especially touring. You've toured the world. You've done so many great gigs with so many different people. Talk about some of those tours that have taken you far and wide.
One that took me far and wide was with James Carter. We visited about 10 or 11 countries. It was my first time out of the country, and it was a great experience, working with him. James Carter is a saxophone virtuoso, if folks don't know, and resides and bred and born in the city of Detroit, Michigan. And it was just a beautiful experience to get an opportunity to work with somebody that, is just heralded in the community as, one of the baddest cats on the instrument. So that was, my first live fire training. And I remember some nights on the gig, we had a set of music. He was premiering we were doing music from an album at that time. But every now and again, every few nights, he would decide to throw in an audible. And then he would just yell out, "Trial by fire."
Keep you on your toes.
And then, figure it out on the spot. So it was on-the-job training. I love it.
Yeah. And you're one of those musicians who always finds themselves in very interesting projects. So I know pre-COVID, you were part of the Festival for New Trumpet Music.
Yeah, I got an opportunity. So the Festival for New Trumpet has been in existence for a while. If I believe I have this right, it started in New York City for a number of years. And then the first iteration of the Festival of New Trumpet on the West Coast came to San Diego. And Dan Atkinson and Stephanie, forgetting her last name right now, from UCSD, they collaborated and kind of put it on here in the West Coast, and I was very fortunate to be, one of the trumpeters involved with that festival in its inaugural season and the second year, pre-COVID, which was right at the top of 2020.
Yeah. And what was the repertoire? What was the music that you were presenting?
Well, I was presenting, same format, my quartet, and presenting my songbook music. But the festival obviously features trumpet players, but it features trumpet players from all types of different musics. Well, in the broad umbrella of jazz, but under that umbrella, you might hear some more avant-garde-ish type things, some electronic type things. Myself, I brought more of a traditional vibe, and even some large group pieces by other trumpet players were explored. So it's really a celebration, a festival of trumpet, and it's beautiful, and I'm excited that I was able to be a part of that on the West Coast.
That's good. So speaking of good vibes and good sounds, your tone is amazing. Rich and dark, what do you attribute that to?
I think as musicians, we're trying to get to the sound that we hear in our heads. And, the sound that you hear come out of my bell is the sound that I'm hearing in my head. At times, I get into trouble, I feel like, because it's too dark. And today was also really tough because, due to COVID protocols, we were playing with the covering on the bell, which further darkens the sound. I don't do a lot of flugelhorn playing for that reason. A lot of times I work with different band leaders. Do you have a flugelhorn?
No need.
I'm like, no, but if they haven't heard me before, I'm like, just wait and tell me if you need the flugelhorn on this sound, this song. And they usually are like, no, that works. No, it's great. So, thank you so much, though, for the compliment. I appreciate it.
And on the other side of the equation, you're a composer. You put out some wonderful albums. I can't remember, is the 2019 the most recent recording?
It is. Actually, right before COVID, we were scheduled to record, my group, we were going to record a new record March 29th of 2020. And
timing.
The world knows what happened. And so now I am tasked with, writing some more music and getting some together and some of my classic tunes and laying them down. So I don't have a date for that yet, but don't worry, I'm itching to get it done. But I want to do it right. I want to present the music right. So
as we look forward and coming out of this cocoon, are there other projects, any touring on the horizon?
I have some shows coming up, touring light. What is touring these days for musicians in COVID? I mean, if you got 2 gigs in a month, I think you're doing great as a trumpet player. I have a show coming up at this great venue in Ann Arbor, Michigan, called Blue Llama, and we'll be playing there at the end of the month. And then I'm going to be playing at the Akron Art Museum in July, the African American Museum in Iowa in July as well, busy July, and also the Beckler Museum in August. And there's a few other things I know that I'm leaving off, some club dates and things like that. But the best thing I would just advise people to do is just visit my website and check it out.
Well, it does sound like a great ramp back to whatever normalcy is. So
right, yeah.
Good luck, congrats, and it's good to have you back.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here and present my own music.
Yeah. And thank you. Thanks for joining us for our virtual Jazz at LACMA concerts. Special thanks to our audio team. To get more information on what we're doing here with this year's concert series, go to lacma.org/music. lacma.org/music. You'll find out all the latest and when we can get some great concerts back with real audiences. Until then, take care.